Hey, it is Andy from FensePost, and today we're going to cover a band called 68 and their debut album, In Humor and Sadness. 68 is the project of Josh Scogin. That name would be familiar to anybody kind of who circles the metalcore, hardcore genres. Scogin's other bands, The Chariot and Norma Jean, made waves back in the early teens and the late aughts. For 68, he was joined by Michael McClellan. Now, that only lasted for the first two records. The third record, which came out in 2021, featured a different drummer. In Humor and Sadness was originally released in 2014. The first vinyl pressings didn't come out until October. There were 3. This one on clear vinyl, and then 2 additional pressings with limited editions of 500 each. The clear vinyl version, on the other hand, came with only 250 copies. So today we're going to take a look at that. There was a second series of pressings that came out in December of 2014. Once again, it was across 3 different pressings. 2 at the limited edition of 250 and 1 at 500. So in that first year, they released 2,250 copies of In Humor and Sadness. It had been sold out all the way until 2020 when the band started reissuing it again. They gave us reissues in 2020 and 2021, kind of to accompany the third album the band released. They gave us reissues in 2020 and 2021, the latter of which kind of came in conjunction with the release of their third album, Give One, Take One. Even then, across those 2020 and 2021 releases, it looks like only 800 were produced. So that leaves us with just over 3,000 copies of this record in existence. Now, the music, extremely creative. It's volatile, it's noisy, it's chaotic, it's emotional. It's really good. I'm not really the biggest hardcore fan. I'm not really the biggest noise rock fan, noise punk. You know, it's really, really hit or miss for me. But I like this. So let's take a look inside. A nice, cool cover. I'm guessing it's sitting on carpet. Maybe some digital editing colored it. I don't know, maybe it's rocks. And the vinyl itself. Clear, like a number of other ones I've covered these days. You can almost see there's like a little waviness in it. Kind of like this little mist. It's very interesting. Inside comes a download code. I've never used it. So there you have it, 68's In Humor and Sadness. So let's talk a little bit more about the music. Like much that you will find from Scogin, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, maybe Scogin. In Humor and Sadness is extremely loud and utterly unhinged. Packed with kind of this creative noise that jumps around chaotically, 68 gave us an album that really has no song title names. In fact, each song title is one letter. And if you line them all up horizontally or vertically and read them the direction that you've lined up, it says regret not, period. So that cohesiveness also flows through this album. Now, unlike some bands that would be considered noise punk or hardcore or noise rock, In Humor and Sadness, 68 creates this almost melodic noise at times that I find really fascinating. That creativity, it flows throughout this album, and I've heard it continues on through his newer works. Do you have a copy of this album? Let me know which one you picked up in the comments. Are you looking for a copy of this album? How much would you pay for it? I'm kind of curious. I'm not selling mine. Anyways, In the description, you will find a link to my review of this album. I am going methodically through all of the records in my collection and reviewing everything. Of course, I'm reviewing newer things as they come in as well. You can find that all over at FensePost.com. That's with an S rather than a C. Link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.